Hey guys, so for day 26 of Halloween nail designs, I'm going to do a fairly simple. Could you hear that? There was a motorcycle revving outside of my house. Anyhow, um, I'm doing a fairly simple design, um, because when I filmed this, I had filmed a whole bunch of videos. I've been sitting at my desk for hours filming. This was one of the last videos that I filmed. I was so tired, and I was just like, I need to do something quick and easy to just get this done and over with, but still be cute and Halloween themed. So I decided to do like a 3D chrome French situation. Um, this is a super like basic Halloween set. So like if you want to get in the Halloween spirit but you don't want in your face Halloween, you could do something like this. So I'm starting out by painting all of the nails. I forgot what color I used. It did show at the beginning. I think this is either cuffing season or bare bones. I think those are pretty much the only two nudes that I use for myself. Um, from Ball Pit. So one of the two, I don't know. It's shown at the start of the video before I paint them. It's also linked down below. Um, so you guys know, but I forgot what it was. Um, Painted all of the nails with this. I think, if I remember correctly, because this was filmed quite a while ago. Uh, I think I did 3 coats of this. I'll go back and forth between doing 2 coats or 3 coats whenever I use a sheared nude, depending on how I want the base to look. So there's either 2 or 3 coats, but I feel like I might have done 3 coats on this set. But I don't know. Either way, whether I did 2 coats or 3 coats, all the coats got cured for 60 seconds. And then I did wipe them off with some alcohol to remove the sticky layer because I'm going in and doing a French tip. For some reason, I decided to do the French tips with jelly colors. I am going to be applying chrome over top of them in the same color. Um, but yeah, I decided to go in with jelly colors. I used some from Ball Pit from her Galactic Jellies collection, and then I used this one from Madam Glam, which I do have a discount code from Madam Glam. If you're ever interested in purchasing anything from Madam Glam, you can save a little bit of money. Also, if you didn't know, I mentioned this before in a previous video. Nail Reserve is now going to be. Nail Reserve isn't going to exist anymore and is like merging with Madam Glam. So there's that. They are having a sale. I don't know if they're still going to be having the sale when this video goes up, but I know they have a 70% off site wide sale. Everything is 70% off. So if you like Nail Reserve products or you just want some cheap gel polishes, go check out Nail Reserve. Like I said, if they still have them up, if the sale is still going on, 70% off that entire site, which is a really good deal because Nail Reserve is pretty pricey. So is Madam Glam. But getting 70% off of Nail Reserve products, great deal. Anyhow, went in, did the French tips. I kind of just quickly painted them on. I did fix some of them up a little bit with a cleanup brush like you saw there. I'm using, I think this is my 15mm liner brush. It looks like it is. It might be the 12. To do the French tips, I always use a 12 or a 15. No, that's the 12. I use that to do the smile line. I always use a 12 or a 15 to do French tips. It just is easier that way. Um, and I did like the smile line of it and like brought it down a little bit so that I could just take the brush straight from the bottle and paint that lower half. I only did one coat of all of these jelly colors because, like I said, I'm putting chrome over top of them. um I was just laying down the base color first so that way, it gave the chrome some background color, because chrome is pretty sheer, pretty see-through. If you just put it on a clear nail, it's going to be very see-through. You're going to be able to see not fully through it, but you can see through it. Kind of like stained glass. So I was just putting down a layer of color to enhance the color of the chrome. And I could have gone through and did a black French tip for all of these, but I wanted the base to be the same color because depending on the color that you have underneath the chrome, it's gonna have the chrome show up a little bit differently. And I just really wanted them to be the color of the chrome and not like have that black base underneath, if that makes any sense at all. I feel like it doesn't. um so anyhow, I went through, I did two black nails, and then I did one orange nail, one purple nail, and one green nail. And I went through and did the French tips the same way. Drew out the smile line, brought it down a little bit, then filled in the rest of that area with the brush straight from the bottle. And then once I got that all on, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. So I know I said I did the base of the French tips the same color as the chrome that I'm going to be using because I like wanted it all to be the same color. Um why I did jelly polishes instead of like a fully opaque cream polish, I can't really tell you why. Like, there was really no reason other than I wanted to see how it would look. Because, like I said earlier, depending on the base that you have for the nail, the chrome is going to show up differently. Even if you do use a colored chrome instead of like one of those iridescent chromes or like the chameleon chromes or whatever, even just using like a green chrome like I'm going to use on this one, it would look different if I put it on a black base versus if I put it on a green base versus if I put it on a blue base. Like, it's going to look different on all of the bases. So I think I was really just curious to see how it would look over a jelly base and like how it would affect the chrome and how it would make it look. So I don't know. Also, I think low-key I just wanted to use these jelly colors because I had just gotten them from Ball Pit because she had just released them, and I was really just wanting to use all these jelly colors because I love them. They're so pretty, and I love jelly gel polishes anyhow. And I always wanted to use jelly gel polishes, but I like never know what to do with them other than stained glass. And like, I mean, you could do all kinds of things with a stained glass design, but like, I can only do that so many times on my channel before it gets old, and you know, no one wants to see me doing stained glass nails for every video. So I don't know, I think I just kind of wanted to use them some more because I really hadn't had the opportunity to use them. I have used them a few times for a couple different Halloween sets, and I did that space hollow jelly set that I did. And then I did do a stained glass Halloween set. So I did find a few places to use them, but like I said, I really like jelly gel polishes and I want to use them like all the time. But I don't really do much to where I could use them, if that makes any sense. So I think this was just, seeing what it would look like, but also using them because I wanted to use them. So, but also, if you didn't want to do the next step that I'm going to do after I get all of these painted on, you could just leave them with the, if you do a jelly French tip, or if you do a cream, like an opaque cream French tip, you could even do glitter French tips. You can do whatever. You could leave it at this point and just top coat and be on your way. But if you want to, do the whole little 3D effect, then I will go into that here soon after I get all of these painted on. Okay, so now I'm going in and applying the anti-chrome matte top coat to all of the nails, the entire nail, because like I said, I am doing chrome and it's an isolated chrome design because I'm just doing the chrome on the French tip. I didn't want any of that chrome powder to stick to what is the nail bed area. So going in with this matte top coat, and this is a great matte top coat if you do isolated chrome designs. If you've been around for a while, watch my videos enough, then I struggle a little bit with isolated chrome designs and like figuring out the best technique to get like a good isolated chrome design and not have the chrome sticking everywhere that it shouldn't stick. And then when Ball Pit came out with this anti-chrome matte top coat, I was like, I need to try it. I know there's other brands out there that have matte top coats that don't, that the chrome doesn't stick to. And I've looked at some of them. They're expensive. They're like more expensive brands. And I mean, Ball Pit, it's not expensive, but like her gels are usually around like $15, I think. So it's a little more affordable for me. I know some people that is still a little bit too much for them. So they stick with like, the Amazon, Temu, Shein polishes and all of that, which is fine as long as you're using them properly, and curing them properly and not getting them all over your skin. You should be fine, although there are some cases where even when someone does everything properly and all that, it can, like, depending on how much of certain chemicals are in the formula, like, that can be a whole situation. But anyhow, like I said, use whatever is affordable for you. Like I said, the Ball Pit one is affordable for me, so that's why I bought it. And it's been working really well for me, and I really do like it. I don't have to worry about buffing or anything, and I don't have to worry about wiping off any sticky layer or this or that or whatever. Like, I can just apply it, cure it, and I'm good to go. So I applied that to all the nails, cured it for 60 seconds. Now I'm using this McCart, I think it's like sculpted paint gel or something like that. It's just a clear, thick gel that you can put texture in and it will hold its shape. I found this from someone off of TikTok. She does some insane nail designs with this product and like chrome and stuff, and so I'm like, I need to get that and try it because she does some crazy things with it, and it just looks so cool to be able to have that texture and then put chrome on it and whatever. So I bought it. I did use it before in a video to like test it out, and I really like it. So to use it, you have to apply it to the entire nail first. Otherwise, you might have, spots where it's not on, and then you're not going to have chrome in that area. So apply it to the entire nail first, and then go in and do your little design that you're going to do on the nail, and then cure that for the full 60 seconds, and then go in with your chrome and apply that on top, and it will stick to it. um, and that's what she said. Like, she had tested it a bunch of times and said that that's like the best way to get it to work and everything. So I just am following what she said to do, and it works really well. Usually when it comes to like, doing chrome stuff, you have to like partially cure it for it to work or whatever. But for this, you do cure for the full 60 seconds, and then do your chrome. So that's what I did my little design, cured it for 60 seconds. Now I'm just going in and applying the chrome, really scrubbing it in there to make sure it gets into all the little ridges and everything. And then I decided to try out using a sponge to wipe off the excess, because I've been seeing pretty much everyone doing that now. Usually I use a fan brush to do that, but I wanted to see how the whole sponge thing worked, and it worked really well. And as you could see, the chrome did not stick at all to the nail bed area, which again is why I love that anti-chrome matte top coat from Ball Pit. It works so well. So for these nails, I just did some basic little squigglies on the nails. I didn't really know what to do. I was kind of, like I said earlier, I was super tired, kind of over filming at this point. I didn't have very many left to film, but I had already filmed a whole bunch of videos. This was one of the last ones that I filmed. And I was just like, I need something quick and easy to do. And so I just did some little squigglies. It was quick and easy. I felt like, it fit well with the or the Halloween season. I keep saying holiday. I mean, it is a holiday, but anyhow, I don't know. It just felt like it fit. And I used this brush that I got. My mom got it for me. In this whole pack of weird, different little shaped brushes off of Temu, I think. And I have never used them. And I thought, oh, maybe I could do something cool with one of these little brushes. So I grabbed this one that, like, it kind of looks like a mountain range where it has, like, the different peaks and the valleys. I don't know that it really affected anything when it came to what I ended up doing with it. So, I don't know if this was, the best use for this brush, but I used it. It worked well. It did what I wanted it to do. So, I don't know. I think I could probably get some cool designs out of it, like if I used it normally instead of doing something weird like this with it. But like I said, it worked for what I was using it for. And this black chrome powder was weird. It didn't really give like a chrome effect. It almost looked matte when I applied it as well. It low-key was kind of giving me like, I don't know what it's called, but like on trucks, the little part that when a truck is really tall and you gotta use like the little step stool like thing on the it's not even a step stool, it's like attached to the truck. It's like it is a step, but it's not a stool, on the trucks. And it has like that textured pattern on there. It was kind of giving the same kind of look as those, but not being like silver and it's black instead. I don't know if that made any sense, and like if you know what I'm talking about. But that's kind of what it was looking like to me. Like, with this design and this black chrome. I don't know. I don't think I'm a huge fan of this black chrome. I don't know if it's just this chrome that I used. It was one of the from one of the packs you can get off Amazon with like a bunch of different chromes for relatively cheap. Uh, so I don't know if it was just this chrome in general or if all black chromes are like that, but I was not a huge fan of it. It does not give the same effect as other chromes. Like, it's not that shiny chrome look. It was actually pretty dull and it was pretty disappointing, but um I didn't know that. That was my first time using it. Uh, I thought it would be cool to use. So, I mean, I guess it did the job, but also it was a little disappointing. And you'll be able to see, like, the black chrome compared to the purple, green, and orange chrome. It just does not give that nice, shiny chrome look. It'll make more sense when you see it. But yeah, just went through, did the same thing on all of them with this little squiggly design. Then cured it for 60 seconds and applied the chrome. And I think it was on this purple one where I decided I hated using the sponge for wiping off the chrome because it kept popping off out of this little grabber tool thing, and it was irritating me so much because it kept popping off. I don't know why. Like, it was grabbed on there. The little prongs on it were like pretty much fully around the sponge, but it kept flying off and it was getting on my nerves. And I'm like, I'm not doing that again. I'm going to stick with my fan brush method instead because that was just irritating the heck out of me. Now I'm just going in with my Jinbei Crazy Top in standard. It does come in 3 different viscosities: thin, standard, and thick. I am really curious to see how thin the thin one is because the standard one is really thin. I'm not a huge fan of it. I do prefer a thick top coat. But anyhow, I do like to use this for top coating chrome and like isolated chrome designs because I use a completely separate brush that I can clean off if any of the chrome particles do get mixed into the product. It all just sinks down to the bottom and I don't have to worry about it being contaminated. Otherwise, you should use a separate top coat that you have specifically dedicated to glitters and chromes because you could end up with little chrome particles in your top coat, and then you have a glitter top coat, and that is going to mess up any design that you don't want a glitter top coat on. So that's why I like using this, because it is a pot. It all just sinks down to the bottom. I can see that it's sunken down to the bottom. And like I said, I can clean this brush off separately and it's no big deal. It gets cleaned off all the time. Whereas compared to, like, trying to clean a brush from a polished bottle, that's difficult. And I mean, you can, but like at the same time you can't. Anyhow, I use this. I top coat the nails with this, and I'm pretty sure I do a second top coat with the LGN top coat because it is thicker, because I didn't want any of the texture. Like, I didn't want to feel the texture from that texture gel. Just because I wasn't in the mood to feel the texture on this set. Sometimes I might be like, yeah, I want to be able to feel the texture, so I would just, leave it. But for this one, I didn't want to feel the texture. I just wanted to be able to see it. So I'm pretty sure I did end up double top coating because, like I said, this top coat is pretty thin and it did kind of sink down into those little crevices and everything, which is good. You want it to, so it can cover everything and all of that. But like, if you don't want the texture, I would recommend either encapsulating a textured design or double top coating. Yeah, I did do a second top coat just to cover up all that texture so you couldn't feel it, but you could still see it. I cured the Jinbei top coat for 60 seconds. Then I applied this top coat, the LGN top coat, on top, and then cured it for 60 seconds. But yeah, if you ever do something and you don't want to feel the texture, like if you do something like this where you just want to see the texture but you don't want to feel it, or if you do like pour loose glitter on top of something, and you don't want that like sugared effect or like the sweater effect or whatever you want to call it, but you want that glitter but you don't want to feel it, I always recommend double top coating. That will help and seal it all in so you don't feel it. That first top coat is going to sink down into it and seal it all in, and then the second top coat is going to sit on top and just cover up all of that texture. And this is the finished result. Like I said, this was a super quick, simple, basic set. I mean, some people argue that French tips aren't simple, but in my opinion, they are. They're really not that hard to do. Anyhow, overall, it's an alright set. I'm not super mad at it. I do feel like I could have done some more with it, but like I said, I was kind of over it at this point. But it is really cool, and I do think, if you want something Halloween, but not like super extra Halloween, something like this is cute. And this is easily something you could do on any shape, length of nail. Like I said, the black chrome compared to these other chromes just is not the same. It does not give the same effect. And with the jelly underneath, you can kind of still see through because it is all like sheer on sheer on sheer. So you still kind of can see through it a little bit. I kind of like how that looks. I think it looks pretty cool, but if you don't want that, I would suggest using an opaque color underneath, so that way you're not seeing through the nail. Also, with that 3D gel that I used, the sculpting gel, whatever it's called, you can see on a couple of the French tips, it did kind of get on the nail bed area. So there is that little like bit of chrome on the nail bed area, which I did not want, but also I didn't realize that that gel had gotten on there. So there's just chrome on there. I could have cleaned it up. I didn't really feel like doing that. I didn't really care. And it's really not a whole lot on there. It's just like a little lump. It was no big deal for what I was doing. But I do think this is a really cute set, and it fits in really well with the Halloween season with all the colors and stuff. Um, but yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.